Dr. Lakshmi Simhacharyalu, Professor in Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, St. Peter's Engineering College, Hyderabad. Today, I would like to deliver a lecture on a network analysis subject for the second year first semester, which is as per syllabus. The previously we discussed in the other lecture about the network topology, the graph theory, and whatever the topics they were given, as per that we'll finish that after the lecture 3. That is network topology, which is graph theory conversions and graph conversions, as well as the cut set, tie set, and incident matrix. All these things we discussed in the previous lectures. Now this is the basic thing in network theory, that is the inductance related things. And here now we are going to talk about the magnetic circuits. So here generally in previous engineering we have material science subject. Nowadays that subject has not given in a curriculum in any universities, so that is left to them. But if the people are studying a material science, that will be very much helpful to the further engineering the second, third, and fourth years. So now, anyway, that is our none of our business. Now we are going to talk about the magnetic circuits in the syllabus. So here, what is the magnetic circuits actually? This is electric current flowing along the wire creates a magnetic field around the wire. If you will say wire, copper wire, you say that the current flows through that along the wire, it creates a magnetic field wire. Just is shown in the figure here. Just to say, figure A, you say that, and that magnetic field can be visualized by showing the lines of magnetic fields. You say that, so which is indicated by phi actually. Psi or phi 1. This is the wounds is there, coils. In these wounds, just current flows through that, then automatically the flux will be produced, because around the coil it have created somewhat the magnetic field. So therefore, flux will produce. This depends on the flowing of current, and which is indicated by phi. So now it depends on number of turns also. So now that is the magnetic circuits. Basically, we used to take inductance. Inductance property, already you know that. What is the inductor, the self-inductor, mutual induction and all. But we will take into the account of the preliminary things. So this was basically the Faraday discovered that the current flowing through the coil not only creates the magnetic field in the iron, it also creates the voltage across the coil that is proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux in the iron. So Faraday discovers that actually what he done the work for this related thing is actually only the current flows through the wire, it can create the magnetic field, and it creates a magnetic field like that. That is magnetic flux, you say that. But even though not only that, if the it also creates a voltage across the coil also, it's proportional to the rate of change of the magnetic flux in the iron. So it is the related thing. What the Faraday states, that the voltage is called an electromotive force, which is indicated by the EMF, and is designated by the symbol. You say that in some books you say the E in the small e here. So the Faraday's law electromagnetic induction, which is E is equal to the N d phi by dt, where N is the number of turns and phi is the flux. D phi by dt is what? The rate of change of flux, which is indicated by d phi by dt. So the sign of the induced EMF is always a direction that opposite the current direction that creates it. This phenomena is called a Lenz law. So that means when the current passing through a coil in a particular this direction and the opposite direction, EMF will be induced in it. So this law, what the Lenz law states, the both directions will be opposite to each other, right? So this is about the preliminary thing of the what is the magnetic field, how it should be produced when the current flows through the wire, it creates somewhere the magnetic field around it, that is called the magnetic flux, you say that, which is indicated by F, already you know that. Now not only a current flows through that, even voltage across the coil, it creates the magnetic flux which is proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux in the coil or iron, whatever it may be. So that coil is n number of turns is there, which is indicated by n like that. And what is the Lenz's law states, already know that, just now I revealed that. So analogous to the voltage is called the magnetic force. So that means the driving force which will be the analogous to the voltage, which is indicated the magnetomotive force in a magnetic circuits, right? So therefore, which is designated by the F. So therefore, the magnetomotive force is created by wrapping n turns of the wire carrying a current I. So therefore, magnetomotive force MMF, which is indicated by F, which is equivalent to the Ni ampere turns. Just to observe that here, both circuits will be there, electric circuit and magnetic circuit. We will take electric circuit. So here voltage across the two terminals, which is the current passing like this. Okay, cross sectional area length of the conductor, through that the current passing through the plus voltage to the minus like. If we take a magnetic circuit, cross sectional area length permeability is there, which is the n number of turns will be there, which is indicated by n, and the current flowing through the coil. Then around that wire, it produces somewhat the magnetic field, which is called producing a flux, which is indicated by phi in these two figures. This is electric field side, this is electric circuit, this is the magnetic circuit, which is the cross sectional area, which is indicated by A, and the length L and the conductance rho here. But here, which is analogous to that the electric field magnetic field circuit, cross sectional area A, length L and permeability mu. So therefore, here you need to take, this is about the basic thing of the magnetic flux, which is the proportional to the MMF driving force and inversely proportional to the quantity of the quantity is called the reluctance, which is indicated by reluctance. So which is analogous to the electrical resistance, you say that. So the resulting of the Ohm's law, the magnetic circuit is given by F is equivalent to the R into phi. What is R? R is nothing but a reluctance, which is indicated by R is equal to 1 by mu A, which is the ampere turns per Weber. This is the unit of the reluctance generally. So here we used to take generally, just you have to see this R into phi, which is by Ohm's law, magnetic circuit reluctance, which is indicated by R. So the magnetic flux density. What is the magnetic flux density? That is the per unit area. How much flux per unit area, that is called the magnetic flux density. So here B is equal to phi by A, Webers per meter square, or Tesla, which is indicated. And the electric current density, which is indicated by J, the current per unit area, I by A. So that is the magnetic flux density and the electric current density here, J. So now the magnetic field intensity, which is indicated by H actually, electric field intensity, which is indicated by E generally. So with n number of turns of wire carrying a current I, the magnetomotive force created in the circuit is, you say that Ni, ampere turns, because where N is the number of turns and I is the current flowing through the circuit. So with L represented the mean path length, you say that whatever the length of the path, which is indicated by L for the magnetic flux, the magnetic field intensity, which is indicated by H. The magnetic field intensity H is equal to Ni by L, ampere turns per meter, because N is the flux density. So this is about the magnetic field intensity, and the analogous between the magnetic and magnetic units is electric field, magnetic and electric fields. How you are going to analogy between them? Just you observe that the electric field, already we know that the voltage indicated by the magnetic field, the magnetomotive force, which is indicated by F, which is equal to N into I ampere turns, you say that in magnetic circuit. Current I, which is indicated in electric field, but the magnetic flux in the magnetic circuit, which is indicated by magnetic flux phi, that is units are Webers. Similarly, you take resistance in a electric circuit, which is indicated by R, and the reluctance which is indicated by capital R in the magnetic field, ampere turns per Weber. That is the reluctance. Resistance is nothing but reluctance in the magnetic field. So conductivity 1 by rho, which is indicated by sigma generally, permeability mu, and which is the units of a magnetic wide magnetic field side, which is Weber per ampere turns meter. That is about the permeability, and the current density, which is indicated by J in the electric field. In magnetic field, the same thing should be magnetic flux density, which is indicated by Weber per meter square, or Tesla, already know that. In the electric field, which is in electric field side, in the magnetic field intensity H, which is ampere turns per meter, right? But in electric field, you say that generally you say volt per meter, that is electric field, right? So this is the preliminary things required to know what is the electric and magnetic circuits, how we are going to use in the. So now we need to take this is the circuit diagrams. If we take electric field circuit diagram, already know that in the previous slide we have the circuits. The magnetic circuit diagram, this is B, and the equivalent circuits of the electric and magnetics. Just you will observe that this is the first A diagram, which is indicated by the electric field equivalent circuit. This is indicated by the magnetic field equivalent circuit. What is the difference? Here the voltage and current and resistance, but in this a magnetomotive force and the flux and reluctance. This is the main difference between the electric and magnetic fields, which is analogous in electric and magnetic field, which is compatible, okay, like that. And you say that the electric circuit, what is that in magnetic circuit? The path traced by the current is called the electric circuit. Path traced by the magnetic flux is defined as the magnetic circuit, right? If the, whatever the current flows through that path is called electric circuit, the closed circuit. And if we will take a magnetic circuit, means path traced out when the magnetic flux is defined in the circuit is the magnetic circuit, that is called. And now you will take generally EMF is the driving force in the electric circuit, the unit is volts, already know that. MMF is the magnetomotive force, is the driving force in the magnetic circuit, which is the unit is in ampere turns, right? So that is already we explained in the previous slides. So there is a current I in the electric circuit measured in amperes, but here what happened? The flux phi in the magnetic field measured in Webers. And another difference, the flow of electric the flow of electrons decides the current in the conductor, but here the magnetic lines of force decides the flux. Here what happens? The flow of electrons is called the current in the conductor, but here magnetic lines of force indicates the flux. And the resistance occupies the flow of current, unit is ohm. But here reluctance is opposed by magnetic path to the flux, and the unit is ampere turns per Weber. So this is about the differences between electric and magnetic circuit. Now we will come into that the more differences with respect to the resistance, like this. Just we will observe that R is equal to rho L by A in the electric circuit. Here the resistance is directly proportional to the length of the wire and inversely proportional to the area of the cross section. and proportional to the specific resistance. This is about the electric circuit. And here what is happen actually, if the length increases, then the resistance increases. Area of cross section increases, then resistance decreases. Specific resistance is directly proportional to the resistance. It depends on the natural material, that is. Now we will coming to this side, the S is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the mu. What is mu? Permeability. That permeability is equal to the product of the permeability in a free space and relative permeability. So again it is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So this is the main relation between resistance and the same thing in a magnetic field. These parameters are varying, then automatically S should be varied. The current in electric field, V by R, already know that, the EMF by resistance. And you say that the flux, magnetomotive force by reluctance, F by R here, phi. There I is equal to E by R or V by R, whatever. But in a flux in the magnetic field, magnetomotive force F by R reluctance. The current density, which is indicated by del, which is equal to I by A, J or del, whatever it may be. But there the magnetic flux density, which is indicated by B, and which is phi by A, Webers per meter square, there, ampere per meter square. And similarly, conductivity is a reciprocal of the resistivity, which is the conductance equal to 1 by R, or R is equal to 1 by Z, whatever it may be. Conductance equal to 1 by resistance. So similarly, permanence, which is equivalent to the 1 by S, permanence is the reciprocal of the reluctance. So the 1 by R or 1 by S, which is equal to permanence, which is the reciprocal of the reluctance, is called the permanence. There conductance is the reciprocal of the resistance. So now the last point, the Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law is applied to the electric field, and the Kirchhoff's magnetomotive force law and the flux law is applicable to the magnetic circuit. That is the main differences between electric and magnetic circuits. Now the Faraday's law already, Faraday's EMF is induced in a coil whenever the magnetic field linking that coil is changed. When magnetic field linking, actually when the current passing through a coil, automatically magnetic field will create, that is called the flux actually, that is the flux linkage. So the second law, the magnitude of the induced EMF, the magnetic field of the induced EMF is proportional to the rate of change of flux linkage, that is, which is indicated by the E is equal to minus N dE phi by dt. This is the Faraday's second law. Already know that Lenge's law. What is the Lenge's law actually? Lenge's law states that the induced EMF due to the change of flux linkage by coil will produce a current in the coil in such a direction that will be produce the magnetic field which will be opposite the cause, that is the change in the flux linkage. That means both will be opposite direction, one to another, opposite direction to each other. So this frames the Lenge's law. Now we will coming to that, the inductances. What is the self-inductance and the self-induced EMF and the mutual induced EMF, these two. The EMF induced in a coil due to change in flux linkage when a changing current flows through the coil is called the self-induced EMF. If you will take one coil, itself, when the current flows through it, itself it changes EMF itself, that is the self-induced EMF. If the mutual, what is the mutual actually? Mutual means if you will take the two coils will be placed at one place side by side, and if you are applying a current, through the first coil, it passes the current through the first coil, automatically it produces the flux linkage. Due to the flux linkage, induced EMF in the other coil also. This is called the mutual induction. So when a second coil is brought near a coil producing a change in flux, EMF will be induced in the second coil due to the change in current in the first coil. This is called the mutually induced EMF. This is about the mutually induced EMF in the, which is coil 1. What is the EMF in the first coil, which is E1 is equal to minus N1 d phi by dt. If we will take E2 is equal to minus N2 d phi by dt. These the with respect to the coil 1 and 2, where N1 is the number of turns in the coil 1, where N2 is the number of turns in the coil 2. This is about the self-induced and the mutual induced EMFs. If we will take a self-inductance of the coil, if we will take this is a coil which we have the n number of turns, and between the turns somewhat gap is there. This is a coil, you say that the core is also there, slide plate is the core, that is whenever the current passing through it. So therefore E is equal to minus n d phi by dt, already know that this is from the Faraday's second law. So therefore when the current passing through the coil, automatically it creates a magnetic field due to the flux will be produced. So therefore phi is equal to B into A. What is the magnetic flux density into area? A is the area. What is the magnetic flux density? Mu into H, already know that. So from the previous analysis, the magnetic field intensity, which is equal to Ni by L, already know that. So therefore you may substitute here mu into Ni by L into A, where mu is the permeability of the magnetic core, and N is the number of turns, I is the current flows through it, and L is the length of path length, you say that, where A is the area of cross section. So you may take again mu Na by L into I. So again you may take here, this is called the phi. Phi should be substituted in the above equation, the E is equal to minus n d phi by dt. In that you may apply phi value is mu Na by L into I. So therefore E is equal to n minus n as usual, d by dt of, instead of phi, mu Na by L into I. So you may apply that, which is equivalent to mu Na by L is the constant terms. So it should coming out minus mu n square A by L into di by dt. So what is the minus mu n square A by L, which is equivalent to the L, that is called the inductance, self inductance. So E is equal to minus L di by dt, where L is equal to n mu n square A by L, which is the units are Henry, and L is called the coefficient of a self inductance, or simply self inductance of the coil. This is about the self inductance. Just will take one wire. Through this wire, current will flow through that. The n number of turns will be there in the coil. Then it produces somewhat flux linkage due to the magnetic field. So you know already the flux is equal to, what is the flux density? Flux density equal to phi by A. From that phi is equal to B cross A. So therefore mu into HA. So similarly you will take the phi value, which is equal to mu Na by L into I. That should be substituted in the Faraday's second law. E is equal to minus n d phi by dt. Then you will get the results is E is equal to minus mu n square A by L into di by dt. So mu n square A by L is equivalent to the L, that is the self inductance of the coil. So therefore which is indicated by L. So therefore E is equal to minus L di by dt. So this is about the self inductance. So flux already you know that the BA. So therefore again you may rewrite that the d phi is equal to what? Mu Na by L into di. So therefore d phi by di is equal to mu Na by L. Again you may apply n multiplied on both sides, then n d phi by dt is equal to mu n square A by L is equal to L. That is the self inductance. So self inductance is equal to L is equal to n d phi by di Henries. This is the one more relation of the self inductance with the flux linkage and the n number of turns. So now phi have the linear relationship. So d phi by di be written as phi by I. So therefore L is equal to n phi by I. So again you may take the L is equal to mu n square A by L is equal to n square by L by mu A, that is equal to n square by reluctance. So reluctance is equal to what actually here? L by mu A. This is about the self inductance of the coil. Now we will come into the mutual inductance. What is the mutual inductance? If we take the two coils will be placed side by side. So consider two coils having N1 and N2 n number of turns placed near each other is shown in figure, just to observe that mutual inductance. So while you are applying a signal at the primary of the coil, the first coil, then I1 current flows through the N1. Due to that, second coil induces EMF automatically. This phenomena, this process is called the mutual induction principle. So the N2 produces the flux. So here E2 is equal to N2 d phi 2 by dt. This is equal to N2 into d by dt of K1 into phi 1, where N2 into K1 into d phi 1 by dt. So similarly, phi 1 is equal to mmf by reluctance. mmf already know that. So therefore, N into I, that is mmf, N1 into I1 by L by mu A1. You again rewrite that N1 mu A1 by L1 into I1. So therefore, E2 is equal to, again rewrite that equation, N2 K1 d by dt of, instead of phi, you may apply this N1 mu A1 by L1 in this equation I1. So in this equation, instead of d phi by dt, d by dt of N1 mu A1 I1 by L1. Again you rewrite the equation K1 N1 into mu A by L1 whole into di1 by dt. And you may rewrite that equation, which is equal to E2 into M, E2 is equal to M into di1 by dt. Whatever the right side, the first equation, just to say, that is called M. M is equal to K1 N1 N2 mu A1 by L1. This is called the mutual induction. This is called the mutual inductance of the two coils. So because here, what are the things we will consider here? So L1, N1, N2, those L1, N2 are the number of turns of the two coils N1 and N2. And mu permeability already know that. And A1, area of cross section of coil 1, area length of cross section of coil 1, like this. This is a mutual induction. This is a principle applied for transformers also. Similarly, if we calculate the induced EMF in coil 1 due to change in the current in the coil 2, so similar manner, but it should be interchanged. So we can find the EMF E1 in the coil 1. So we will take the K2. Previously we have K1 N1 N2 mu A1 by L2. But here, due to the coil 2, so therefore EMF induced in the coil 1 due to coil 2, so therefore K2 N1 N2 mu A2 by L2 into di2 by dt. Previously di1 by dt. So this is the EMF induced in coil 1 due to the coil 2. So here also M is equal to K2 N1 N2 mu A2 by L2. Previously what happened? M is equal to K1 N1 N2 mu A1 by L1. So therefore it is completely the second coil dimensions are taken into account. And the K is the coefficient of coupling generally. So therefore here you now multiplying the expression for M and the both above equations will be multiplied, and you will get the result is M square is equal to K1 K2 N1 N2 N1 N2 mu square A1 A2 by L1 L2, like that. M square is equal to, again you rewrite that equation. If you will take the equation is reduced, so K1 K2 mu N1 square A1 mu N2 square A2 by L1 L2. Now we will take again the rewrite that equation. L1 mutual induction, self inductance already know that mu N A by L, which is related to the first coil, that is given by L1. It is a second coil mu N2 square A2 by L2. So therefore L2. So again rewrite that M square equal to K1 K2 into L1 L2. So you may take M is equal to K1 K2 under root into L1 L2 under root. So K, both K1 K2 are is equal to K, therefore you will get the K root L1 L2. Therefore here the mutual induction is equal to K root L1 L2. So coefficient of coupling is equal to K is equal to M by root L1 L2. This is about the coefficient of coupling of a given two coils. So inductance of a coil connected in series. For example, the two, so far what we learn actually, what is the self inductance, what is the mutual induction, right? And before that, what is the magnetic field first. The 3-4 topics will cover. Now we will coming to this, the inductance of a coil connected in series having a common core. If we take a two coils is there, if the connections, how you are going to connect it? If you are connecting in series cumulatively, for example, the first coil, how you are connected here? This is the same direction we connected. So this is a cumulative, that is a additive, right? The first coil indicates like that, how the current direction is there, which is here. If we will coming to that, the second coil, second B, this is differentially. That means which is connected in opposite, right? So therefore, since the two coils are connected in series, the same current flows through them. So therefore, you will take E1 is equal to minus L1 di by dt. Similarly, E2 is equal to minus L2 di by dt. So therefore, you may take the another, that due to the mutual induction, the EMF induced in coil 1 due to the change in current in a coil 2, already know that. So and vice versa. If due to the mutual induction and the EMF induced in the coil 2 due to the change of current in the coil 1, like that. So the EMF induced in a coil 1 due to the change of current in coil 2. So E12 is equal to minus M di by dt. Now let the total equivalent inductance of the single circuit coil 1 and the coil 2, as there are connected as in BLE. So the EMF induced in the whole circuit, therefore E is equal to minus LE into di by dt. Now we will take the two circuits according to that, thus the equating the expressions for the E, the total EMFs which will be indicated. So here minus L1 di by dt, minus L2 di by dt, minus M di by dt, minus M di by dt, which is equal to what? Minus LE di by dt. So therefore, LE is equal to effective inductance is equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2M. If we will take the both, it is a series side. If you will connect a series opposite, then the both coils will be connected opposite direction. So LE dot is equivalent to the LE dash equal to L12 plus L2 minus 2M. So the dot conversion is used to determine the sign of the induced voltage, which is M di by dt. So if we use the dot conversion, it will not be required to know the way the coils have been actually wound. The dot conversion should be indicated that whether the coils are in opposing or series additive. The two should be indicated like that. For example, the simple tutorial for this problem, the total inductance of the two coils connected in series cumulatively. So the total inductance is 1.6 henries and connected differentially 0.04 henries. The self inductance of the coil is 0.6 henries. Calculate the mutual inductance and coupling coefficient. So how you are going, already you know that the series siding, then what is the series siding? L1 plus L2 plus 2M, that is called the series siding or series cumulatively. So therefore, which is equal to given value is 1.6. And differentially, series of opposing L1 plus L2 minus 2M is equal to 0.4. So from this, you may be equation 1 minus equation 2 like that. For example, you may take here, this is equation 1, this is equation 2. From this 1 minus 2 equation, therefore L1, L1, L2, only 4M is left, because minus or minus is plus, therefore 4M is equal to 1.3. From that, M is equal to 0.3 Henries. Now you may take the L1 is equal to what? 0.6. How we will get the self-inductance of one coil already given, so therefore L1 given. Ultimately you may find the value of L2 by using of any of the above one or two equations. Then you will get the L2 value, which is equal to 0.4 Henries. Once you found the value of L1, L2 from the given problem, then automatically you will find the coefficient of coupling, which is indicated by K. K is equal to M by root L1 L2. M already we found it 0.3 by root L1 0.6 into root L2 0.4. So therefore 0.3 by under root over 0.6 into 0.4, which is equal to 0.612. That is the coefficient of coupling. So here generally coefficient of coupling is always less than 1, that is 0 to 1 only. This is the formula. K is equal to M by root over L1, right? And now next, this is about the self-inductance, mutual inductance, the magnetic circuit for the basic preliminary things. Okay, thank you for watching this.